And when you feel joy, you have everything. Because when you have joy in you, you can stand up and believe, I am good enough. The topic for today is the belief that pausing in non-doing is fruitless. You know, I do things with the English language. Sometimes even I am stunned because I just fool around with the words because those words have several meanings. So, good morning, everybody. Beautiful, wonderful humans. It's a brand new day. We know that. A brand new week, a blank canvas. We have a whole new canvas, not yet touched by a brush, not yet assigned a name or an expectation. It's a brand new day, a brand new week. And we do not have to have any expectation. It doesn't have a name. We are the artists of this week. We can paint it. So today, I invite you to begin in stillness, not to plan, not to list, not to do, but simply to be. So that's why the belief that pausing in non-doing is fruitless is the topic. Let's start this morning blessing by letting go of Monday, the word Monday, as a title. Let it go. It's not a title. Letting go of all your usual checklists. Release them. Let's allow this moment to be nameless, label 3, and sacred. Just for now, breathe. Just breathe. Don't look at Monday as Monday. Don't think of the list you have to do. Do not think of anything that has to be done today. Just breathe in the day. In for 4, hold for 4, and release in 6. So I change it sometimes because some of us cannot hold for a long time. So let's go in for 4 through your nose, hold for 4, and release through your mouth like you're blowing through a straw for the count of 6. And this is amazing. So the Western addiction to doing is what has us in circles, so that way we are not able to just stop. Some of us get really fidgety if we do not have a list of things to do, and we call it the to-do list. And we keep adding to it, or we are following the new guidelines from others. Do 3 things on your list, and then we stick to these 3 things. And we rush to get it all done. But remember, I taught you, when you have done thing number 1, sit. Just sit down, or go outside, or stand and stare at the sun for a moment. It's not going to make you go burnt right away. Put your sunscreen on and stare at the sun, especially in the morning. Just let it give you what you're looking for in the winter. We've been conditioned to believe that unless we are doing something, we are failing. Unless we are fixing, achieving, producing, or checking off boxes, we feel we are wasting time. This is the great fear of non-doing. It's Western. It's a Western thing. The Western world built on hustle and progress sees rest as lazy, quiet and unproductive, and stillness as fruitless. But yet, they go to the blue zone and they bring us all the information about the people in the blue zones, in Italy, in Sedona, in all over the place, in Greece, in Dominica, centenarians are living over 100, and they're just doing Japan, in China, and they go in Brazil. They look all over the world for these blue zones. And they tell us what these people in the blue zone have done all their life that enabled them to twist and turn and bend well into their 90s and over. And then they tell us, but you must do. You have to succeed. You have to push. You must stay on track. If you're looking for someone to be a speaker at any of your events that you're planning, get in touch with me. My email address is right here. And you can contact me, and I would love to give you more about making life choices to you or any of the topic on living a fulfilled life. Have a great day. The great fear of not doing is a Western thing. It's not all over the world. But is that true? We glorify being busy, but forget to ask, busy doing what and at what cost? We need to know when we are always in the hustle, we miss things that my friend Marina over here sees. We're walking in a path and we miss the hole that the squirrels have dug, or the painting somebody stuck on it, or something. Because we have to do something. We're constantly doing. We do not see the small things that we should look for. And therefore, we are not pausing. And because we believe in the Western world that pausing in non-doing is fruitless, we do not do it. And some of us can't. When we feel every hour we push away the deeper call of life. 60 minutes is all done. Yet, in most countries, it is the law for you to have a 15-minute break in the morning and the afternoon. How many of you took it? How many of you really took the break? What I know for sure is taking a 10-minute break from me, because I am retired. Every hour, I find I accomplish a lot more. I do, and I'm not tired, I'm not exhausted, I'm not sleepy. You can do it because you're working, but you can take a 3-5 minute break. Yes, you can. And nobody will even see you are, because you're inhaling for 4, you're holding for 4, and you're releasing through a straw for 6. And no device, no phone calls, no answering machine for those 5 minutes. And we glorify being busy, but we forget to ask, busy doing what and at what cost? And eventually we burn out, not because we are weak, but because we haven't allowed the soul time to breathe. Our soul hasn't taken a breath. It's just going and going and going. And that is amazing. Amma says, great reminder, we are human beings, not human doing. That is my favorite saying. The pathway to being. I have the 5 pillars. And that, if you follow the 5 pillars, you will find that you have time. Because you will stop when rage is entering you. And you can say, is that going to take me closer or further away from my dream, goal, or desire? There's so many examples. I've given you tons of them, and you can find some for yourself. Is it rushing going to take you further away or closer to your dream, goal? You can ask that when you're speeding in your car. You can ask that when you're swallowing without chewing. You can ask that when you're walking and drinking. You can ask that when you're rushing to brush your teeth. You can do that though. You can pause in the moment, and you can stand on one leg while not resting against the sink while brushing your teeth or doing dishes for just 10 minutes. That's pausing. You have to think to lift that leg just for that moment. So these are the small things. Emotional prosperity teaches us to feel. But how can we feel when we are rushing? How do we connect with our legs when we are rushing and realize that our leg is weak and we need in our 40s to start strengthening it? Because according to what we know, the leg is the first thing that goes when you're aging. Your ability to be mobile, to get up from a chair without grabbing the chair with you. So we need to feel. And when we are rushing, we're not feeling. We're just going and going. And we hit our head against the wall, the stone. And then there is mental prosperity in pausing. It calls us to reflect, although I prefer inflect. But when do we have time clearly in the chaos of constant motion to inflect? When? Do you know that when you're at the stoplight for those 30 seconds or 20 seconds, that's good enough? Your foot is on the brakes and you take a deep breath and you release the tension that that person cut you off 2 minutes ago. You let it go. That is pausing. And it's so simple, yet we are afraid of it. We say, this person who sent me this really negative note about pausing told me that, how can I ever get to where I have to go if I follow your idea of pausing? Maybe you'll get there a little bit less hurried, a little bit less looking haphazard. Maybe you'll notice that you have one earring on. Or like the lady that I worked with. The lady came, she bought the same shoe in black and navy, and she showed up at work with opposite colors on. They were the right shoe. One was black, one was blue. And she said, oh, I was rushing to get out of the house. I didn't see that. Pause. Take your time to put your feet inside of the shoe. Don't grab it and stand and whistle and twist your ankle to get it in. Use something. Even a finger is better than what we do in rushing. Reminds us to rest and restore, not just run. That is physical prosperity. Rest and restore and stop running. Running is for little people. That is why you have to be in your 20s to have little people in your life, because then they're running and you have to be able to run behind them. Try it at my age. You're not going anywhere. So financial prosperity, and you're going to tell me, Tessa-Marie, what does that have to do with pausing? Oh yeah? Before you swipe, before you point and click, all of that, just before that. And you know, I have stories, and my family is some of them going to just tie me to the stick one day and burn me alive. I figure that will happen when they can catch me. But you see, my legs are strong, so they won't catch me. I can run. My brother Milton told me that I'm paying off my car. I have $800 left on the car. And he was very proud of himself until I said, and what are you going to do with that money now that you finished paying for the car? Big silence. And a stuttering, yeah, I'm asking you that question. I asked my dear friend Nuko, what are you doing with that $20? You were happy giving it to premium YouTube, and now you stopped it. Where is it? Where has it gone? She didn't stutter like Milton, but it's in the checking account. It's not. The checking account is a sieve. So now that you have finished paying for your car, what are you going to do? Milton, do the math. $425 every 2 weeks times 26. Do the math. Don't tell me about that. I don't want to hear that. That's his answer to me. I know the numbers. You and the numbers. So I said, he said, I don't know. I never thought of it. He didn't pause to say, okay, so I've been doing this for years. Now I don't have to do it. I have my fabulous, expensive car. So now, what do I do? What about just putting it aside? Pack it and breathe. You were giving it away anyway, so you wouldn't miss it. Obviously, you were leaving, but you cannot do that if you're not pausing. It is not just about earning. It's also about wisely pausing before spending or even investing. Non-doing is not emptiness. It is presence. It is sacred listening to your breath, to your inner wisdom, to God, to nature, to the whispers of the soul. My sister said, look at yourself in the mirror, smile, and say, hello, gorgeous. Pause. That is something you're pausing. We do that. The old followers of the morning blessings know that already. I told you guys this story of this young woman that showed up in the bathroom and she goes, hi, sexy. And her husband was coming down the hallway and said, who are you talking to? She said, to me. And she said, Tessa-Marie said years ago to say good morning to yourself and greet yourself. So I go, hi, sexy. He said, move over. And he goes, hi, handsome hunk. And she laughed, telling me the story, and said, we didn't go to the kitchen. We went back where we came from. That was pausing. If she hadn't paused, she wouldn't have gotten that hug from her husband. Obviously, it was a nice moment. So this is what we have to, that's why Dawn is saying that. Look in the mirror and say you're gorgeous, because you know for sure there is somebody, if opinion, assumptions are going to tell you you're not that gorgeous, you know. So you have to have it covered. You have to have your gorgeousness covered. You have to believe I am good enough. I'm fabulous. Pause. True miracles don't shout. They arrive softly in the quiet spaces between actions. When you sit for a moment and you realize, I just did this. Like if my brother was paused, he was happy to tell me he was proud, but he didn't have a plan. And as I said to my dentist when he went with his hand in my mouth and he's asking me a question about finance, and I said to him, you know what, Dr. Sodi? Money has to be honest. It has to be honest. It has to have a name. And if you do not give your what it is a name, then it will go away. You have to, all of life is like that. Soft things happen. They arrive softly between rushing and doing. You have to pause to see where you're going. Next foot. So when you let go of trying to name the day or control what happens, joy has room to rise. When you let go of that, joy has room to rise. It comes up. And when you feel joy, you have everything. Because when you have joy in you, you can stand up and believe, I am good enough. I got this. I did my best. I paused. I took time to realize where I am on my journey called life. When you let go of trying to do that, that's what happens. Think of a sunrise. It doesn't do anything. It just shows up. And yet it fills us with awe. That's the beauty of non-doing. It tells you, look at me, you'll see me in the setting sun. They call it the green flash. The green flash is seen in the setting sun. To see that, you have to be looking at the sun. And according to what they say, the green flash is God that's flashing. It's there. If you can sit still enough, I did that once on the estate. I sat on the mound looking west and I was breathless. It was so quick. But there it is. So if I hadn't sat there, I would not have seen, as the sun is going down, that flash of green appears. You'll see me in the setting sun. You're looking for God? Take time to pause. When we pause without guilt, without rushing to feel the silence, we allow the serum of joy to move through us. You know, joy is a serum because it flows. It doesn't stay in one place. It comes in and it engulfs the entire body. And that's what makes you unique. And that's what makes you shiver when you feel the joy, especially the joy of somebody you love. You pause to think, and you think of that person, and nothing else is taking you away from the thought of that human. That's joy. A child, a grandchild, a lover, siblings, and neighbors, somebody that's been kind and generous, that you care about, and you just take it in and comfort. That person is there for you. You pick up that phone or you send a DM, a text, and you know they're going to respond. That's joy. You know that for sure. Sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, the five senses. In this place of gentle presence, we come home to ourselves. When we knock on the door of the serum of joy and we have it flowing in us, it comes in. You will dance like they say in scripture. When the Holy Spirit descended on the apostles, people thought they were drunk with wine because they were just so happy and they were dancing and feeling good. That was the serum of joy. They got it. In this place of gentle presence, we come home to ourselves because we are not meant to be constantly challenged. We are meant to have a lot of joys. So here are ways non-doing works in real life. Sitting in a park, in the garden with no phone, just watching the bees and the breeze. Watching. Looking up at the sky when nobody yet is awake. You can look around you and all the houses are quiet. And there you are. You have no idea the things that you will see in the sky unless you have done it. Unless you have done it before machines start running and cars go squealing and doors are slamming and honking and beeping. When you look up at that magnificent sky, it's amazing the dance that happens in that sky. Lying on your back and staring at the ceiling, letting your mind wander freely. You can do that, you know. They say anytime you lie flat, whether it's in the floor in your house or on the grass, you lie flat, you're connecting with Earth. You're getting to Mother Earth. Listening to soft music without dancing or multitasking, just absorbing. There was a lady I coached for a long time, and she couldn't do that. So I got her to listen to classical music, and I had Beethoven for her. And I told her, listen with your headphones, not earbuds. And each time you hear the music, send it to separate and different areas of the brain. She had never seen what the human brain looks like. So I told her to get to see it. Look at it. And realize it's like what you call it, cheese. What do you call that cheese? You know what I mean. Anyway, all crumbled up. And I said, see the music going into all the crevices of that brain. Cottage cheese. Yeah. And see it moving through there and feel the dance. And she said, even today, she still does that. She had to pause, just sit and put the music on and let it dance. She needed to open her mind so she could absorb and see where she was going. Praying, not to ask, but be in divine company. When I go out at 4:30 in the morning, I don't pray, I observe. But I know at that time, I am connecting to my source, to my God, to my universe, to whatever you desire. I know it's not a long process because I have to keep going, but it's a 5-minute dance in the garden with my mind. I look up, I look around, I see the trees moving, hear the chimes, I hear the birds. Sometimes I hear an animal moving, and it's just that, or the way the wind is blowing, whether it's coming from the north, east. I look up at the sky and I can tell now if it's going to be a sunny day or not because of the way the sky looks, because I've been doing it for such a long time. So I'm not praying though, I'm being. Drinking tea and doing nothing else, not even thinking about the next task. You can have a glass of water, you can have tea. Later in the evening, Dawn and Yuko will have a glass of wine. And I'm sure Rita will join them. And they'll just sit there and think how lucky they are to have that glass of wine in the moment. These aren't luxuries. They're not expensive either. These are life-giving, spirit-feeding practice. You're feeding your mind, you're relaxing. When you get up from pausing and non-doing, you'll have more fruits to pick from than if you were rushing through. When you do that, you have more to get than rushing through. So you can journal about that. The luxuries that you think you need so you can be non-doing and you'll get fruitful, doesn't exist. What does exist is that you're feeding your spirit. This is how we heal. This is how we receive. When we stop wherever we are and drink it in. You do not have to, where we go sometimes in our journey called life, is not always comfortable. It's not always good for us. But you know what is good about it? Is accepting it, pausing and saying it is as it is. And when you start thinking that way, wherever you are becomes the right place for you at the time. But you will not see it unless you pause and realize, okay. And sometimes ask yourself the question, if I wasn't here, where would I be? Just ask that question and see what answers you get. What beliefs do I hold about rest or stillness? being lazy? What is it? Why do I believe to rest or to be still is to be lazy? Why do I have that belief? Where did I learn it from? Do both. One day just keep doing, the next day take your breaks between doing, and see which day is more fruitful. It won't be fruitless. When was the last time I sat in complete non-doing? Question, when last time I just sat down? I can't remember that. When? Ask yourself that question. What miracles might I have missed because I was too busy to notice? I am too busy to notice that this red cardinal sits there and just stares at me. I'm too busy to notice that I'm wearing 2 different color shoes. I'm too busy to notice that I put the tea cup at the end of the sink and it fell in and broke. I'm too busy to notice what I'm doing. I'm not pausing. My body is in the super drive. So, what would happen if I let myself pause today without guilt? What about if you take a break today? A 10-minute break today, just for the fun, just to test it. Man, that's going to be hard if you've never done it. I'm telling you, it's a challenging thing to do. To sit for 10 minutes. Just to sit there for 10 minutes. It's a challenging thing to do. Trust me. You don't want to get up. You don't want to pick up. But you have to force yourself and say, no, we are going to rest in the 10 minutes. Somehow, somewhere, we're going to figure out this 10 minutes. And as you're saying that, your body is going to be moving to cry. Oh, I should read a book. Maybe sit down. Talk to your mind and your body. Say sit and breathe. And just keep breathing deeply so that you can balance. So write freely. Let your heart answer before your head does. What belief do I have about rest or stillness? That's making believe it's laziness. When was the last time I sat in complete non-doing? What miracles might I have missed because I was too busy to notice them? What would happen if I let myself pause today without guilt? Right? Answer that before your head gets crazy. Close your eyes if you're able when you do that. Imagine yourself today walking in a secret garden. There are no clocks, no phones, no name. The air is fragrant blossom. Birds are singing. The wind is gentle. And you walk through that beautiful garden and you sit under a tree. And you take your back and you press it into the tree. And let the tree fill you with its own energy. You go back to the tree and you rest deeply against the tree. Standing, maybe you don't want to sit on the ground, but that would help. And you do nothing. You walk to this beautiful park or this beautiful space and you found a tree. And you stood up and you rest against the tree doing nothing for 5 minutes. You're not a mother then. You're not a teacher, a wife, a speaker, a planner, a fixer. You are just you. You and the tree are one. And in this sacred stillness, your cells rejoice. Your body calms down. The tree feeds you. Your spirit laughs quietly. Your inner child smiles. Especially if at that moment of stillness and leaning against the tree sways. Tessa-Marie, that big tree will not. Yes, it will. It has to welcome you. It has energy. So because you're resting so deeply against it, it's not going to close its energy from you. It's going to feed you. It cannot feed you unless it opens up to you. So there you go. You feel the serum of joy moving through your limbs, your legs, your skin. That tree is feeding it. It's giving you more. This is not fruitless. It is freedom. It is fruitful. You now know what it's like to feel the tree. Touch the back of the tree and feel that. But your back is against it and you just let it go. Try that. Today, maybe you will resist the urge to rush. Maybe you will sit without guilt. May you stop and let joy catch up to you. And may you remember that you are a human being, not a human doing. Doing may build the world. It does build the world. But being lets you belong in the world. Yeah, if you keep doing, you'll build the world. But have you been in it lately? Although you build it, did you go into it or you just build it and walk to the next building? Take some time to do that. So today, may you resist the urge to rush. May you sit without guilt. May you stop and let joy catch up with you. And may you remember, I'm a human being. I'm going to build, but I need to be in what I build. You doubting me? It's the people that have these magnificent homes and houses that they have, and they have not sat in it and inhale and grasp and take the energy, just have like a house. They haven't taken it and swallowed it up. But you wanted it. You have it. Let it engulf you. Let your surroundings, the one you work for, you paid for, you have, you earn, you desired, you couldn't have, you were so anxious to get, hey, it's here. When last did you say, thank you? Pause. And as you walk from room to room, be grateful. Be grateful for the environment you're in. Doing may build the world, but being lets you belong in it. I bless your pauses today. I honor your stillness because I honor mine. I bless the time I pause, and I celebrate the non-doing where your miracles are waiting. There are miracles, you know. So remember, today is the day for you to just pause. It's a new week. It's not a new day. It's just a new week. And yes, the sun rose this morning, and today, can you look at the sunset? Because that's the other part it's going, right? East to west. So can you follow it? Anyway, have a wonderful and amazing day. Remember, non-doing delivers fruits of your labor. And when you get it, remember to pause in it and enjoy it, like walking through your home and taking every bit of the space you have. Whether it's a mansion or whether it's a 500 square foot apartment, hey, it's yours. Be grateful you have it. Pause and say thank you, space, for holding me safe. Thank you, everybody.